Are you sending emails or planning to send emails for your business, but you have no idea what SPF, DKIM, authentication is? Then you are in the right place. My name is Julia Schürer. I'm from Germany. I'm an email marketing and storytelling strategist. And if you are a coach, course creator, membership owner, or a school community owner, then this video is for you. Have you ever asked yourself, do I really need to understand what SPF, DKIM, email authentication really means? Yes, you have to, and I'm here to help. I've built a six-figure business in the German market only based on emails. Yes, I did social media. Yes, I danced in reels, but the money was on my list and is still on my list. I stepped away from social media for a bit over half a year, and I did 2 launches in this time frame, and 100% from the profit I made came just from emails. And I am here to help you understand, with this part number 2 of my 6-part email series for beginners, what the technical setup of email marketing really means and how you can handle all the tech stuff. We will talk about email campaigns versus automation. What is that? And we also talk about what are groups, what are segments, and how you can use them for your business. You don't need to be tech savvy to really make email marketing work for you. We are talking just about the foundations, and then we jump into a hands-on part where I show you how you can do all the tech stuff in your MailerLite email account. There's one term that is really important and that you need to understand, and this is deliverability. Deliverability means where your email actually ends up. This can be the spam folder, which you want to avoid, and I will explain to you how later. This can also be the promotions tab, which is, ideally, your email ends up in the inbox, in the actual primary inbox. So if you use Gmail, then you know that you have different folders, different tabs, and sometimes you might find an email in the promotions tab or in the updates tab. If your email lands very often in the spam folder, stick to this video. Before I explain and teach you what you can do to really end up in the primary, I feel it's important to tell you that there are things you can and should make your emails end up in the primary inbox. So the thing is, you can write the very best email, but if it lands in the spam folder, no one sees it. So if you have everything set up to support your deliverability, you have higher open rates, and higher open rates leads, ideally, to more engagement, more clicks, more replies with your emails. Okay, now here is the one and only bit complicated technical part of this video. We are talking about SPF, DKIM, and DMARC. All of those are known as authentication setting. So you can think of Gmail, Yahoo. They want to see some kind of an ID from your email to make sure your email is from you. When we think back to the early days of email marketing, there were so many people who were sending spam emails, and no one cared about it. There was no process of making sure that you are the owner of your sender domain. Sender domain means, in my case, juliaschürer.com. Maybe it's yourname.com. And then you have an email address, hello@yourname.com. And the process of authentication means that you prove that you own your sender domain, yourname.com, right? So every time you send an email, Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook knows, okay, this email is from Julia. You have proof that you own your domain, and this makes you a trustworthy sender. DKIM, SPF is required by Gmail and Yahoo since 2024. This means if you really want to make sure that you end up in the inbox of your subscribers, you need to have this ready. If you make sure you have a solid authentication process, this pays into your sender reputation. The higher your sender reputation, the more Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook, are willing to put your email in the primary inbox. Before we dive into the technical setup, I just want to talk about how to avoid landing in the spam folder. So you already know you need to have your authentication process ready, but there are several other things you can do. Number one, do not use emojis in subject lines. I know there are many people out there who are using them, and sometimes it works, but also sometimes not. You need to have a very high sender reputation to use emojis in your subject lines and not land in the. I personally stopped using them because I recognized the more emojis I'm using in my subject lines, the lower is my deliverability rate. The next thing you should avoid is using trigger words. Trigger words are words that triggers the spam filter of Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook, etc. I use very often free. I experience that this is not a trigger word, but you need to. Everything that sounds like FOMO, this is a trigger for spam filters, so do avoid them. Images. You can and should use images in your emails, but please make sure you don't overuse them. 1 or 2 images per email are fine. More is not that good. A major red flag when practicing email marketing is not having an unsubscribe button. Number one, it's required. You need to have an unsubscribe button. And honestly, when someone doesn't want to be on your email list, then give the chance to unsubscribe. You don't want to have people on your list just for the sake of having them on your list. You want people on your list who are raving and cheering on your emails. So make sure you give a very fast way an opportunity to unsubscribe. And if you are like me and you have some kind of an aggressive language, then make sure you make them a little bit softer, just adding a little star or something. Do not write them fully through. This is really a spam filter trigger. I did a test for a few months and I offered for my subscribers the option to opt out from 3 emails per week. So 3 emails is my schedule, and I offered an option to opt out and only receive 1 email. And I thought those people who opted out from 3 emails per week to only 1 email per week would stay longer on my list. But honestly, once they had opted out and received only 1 email per week, they started unsubscribing. When it comes to email marketing, my thing is I want to have people on my list who love my emails. And for loving my emails, it's necessary that you first like my style and second also like my frequency. So if you don't like receiving 3 emails per week, then I'm not your person. And that's fine. And this is the mindset you should have when writing emails. It's not about the number of people you have on your list. It's the quality of people and the relationship you have with them and you build with them over time. This is what really matters when it comes to email marketing. This is nothing you can technically set up. It is just an sharing from my personal journey. And here are some things you can also not technically set up, but these things are paying into your sender reputation and helps you with a better deliverability. Replies and forward. Yes, a click is good, and we're aiming for a click rate from around 3 to 5%. Honestly, my click rate is most of the times below 2 or below 1%. But you're aiming for replies. A reply is the trophy, the golden trophy of email marketing. When someone replies to your email and shares a story, this is what you really want. I've sent an email yesterday evening and I woke up with 2 replies on this, and both women told me that they needed to hear exactly what I had written in this email. And this is making me goosebumps every single time because I know I hit the mark. And there's nothing you can appreciate more than a person who replies to your email. This is such a time investment. This is so cool. Oh, I have goosebumps right now. This is so cool. So a reply is your golden trophy in email marketing. Save replies and please make sure you answer to those replies. You also need to make sure that they feel appreciated because you have read their email and then you also replied. Let's quickly jump in to see how we can technically make sure that your emails end up in the primary inbox. I use MailerLite because I am convinced that this is the perfect email tool for everyone who takes email marketing serious, but is maybe slightly on a budget. But to be fair, I started with MailerLite. Then I switched to ActiveCampaign because I thought I need all those fancy stuff. But it turns out that it's just expensive. Yes, there are some things and some features I'm missing in MailerLite, but compared to the amount of what I paid in ActiveCampaign versus in MailerLite, it's totally worth it. Okay, so let's dive into the setup itself. So this is your MailerLite dashboard, and you go to Account Settings, Domains, and here you see your current status of your domain authentication. And you also need to make sure that you check your DNS settings regularly. So click on DNS records, and you see here is your DNS record. And if there is anything wrong, you copy the record and go into your domain settings and make sure you add the correct DNS record. Once you have done that, you can click on check DNS records or re-authenticate if there is something wrong with your DNS records. There are some ways you can see how your deliverability score is and what you can optimize and improve. You just go to mail-tester.com and just copy this email address, go to your MailerLite account, go to subscribers, add subscriber, add single subscriber, add the email address and name it test. Add to a group, we name it test group, add subscriber. Then you go to campaign, create campaign, regular campaign. You select your test group, click select, next content. You just choose any template or send a plain email, that's okay. Done. Only one person is receiving this email. Once you have done that, you click on check. Once you have sent your test email and it's delivered, you will see this screen. So I have 9.5 out of 10 as a score, and this is really good. Let's see what I can improve. Click here to view your message. So it's all done. I have an HTML version. I have a version without images. This is great. Text version, also source. So my DKIM is fine. Message has a DKIM or DK signature, not necessarily valid. Okay, I need to check this. This is also fine. So the body of your message contains errors. So let's see. We found one image without, okay. So yes, make sure you always have an alt tag on your images. So this might be my 0.5% here. So yeah, great. We can do this. That's fine. Then I would have a 10 out of 10. So sometimes it's not looking like this, and then it's fine. I can recommend you to be my web admin if you need help, or you just go to Fiverr and ask for help. And there are many people who can help you with your DKIM and SPF settings. Here are a few things you must do if you are a mass sender. What is a mass sender? So back in 2024, Yahoo and Gmail announced some new requirements for people who are sending really much emails. So you are a mass sender if you're sending more than 5,000 emails per day to Gmail or Yahoo accounts. Let's say you have 10,000 subscribers. 6,000 subscribers are different accounts, a mix of Yahoo, Outlook, and other ones, and you have 4,000 Gmail subscribers. Then you are not a mass sender, so you don't sell more than 5,000 emails to Gmail accounts. But on the other hand, if you have 6,000 Gmail accounts and 4,000 other accounts, then you are a mass sender, and there are some requirements. You must have the SPF and DKIM authentication. Yes, You might think now, oh, wow, I don't need it. I'm not a mass sender. Please do it. It helps you with your sender reputation and with your deliverability. But if you're a mass sender, then it's a must do. But to be honest, even if you're not a mass sender, it's a must do. If you are a mass sender, then you need to have a so-called one-click unsubscribe. So if you're using Gmail like I do, then you might have noticed that if you hover over your inbox, there are some emails you receive where you can instantly hit unsubscribe without even open the email. This is the one-click unsubscribe, and this is a requirement for mass senders. If you are not a mass sender, then one unsubscribe link in every email is required. So this is a must do. For example, ActiveCampaign and MailerLite won't allow you to send an email without an unsubscribe button. And as I said, if someone wants to leave your world, let them. And here's a thing that is a requirement for mass sender, but it's also a must to do for you. Your spam rate should be below 0.3%. A spam compliant rate means when someone reports your email as a spam. And I have to say, some people didn't even know what spam actually means. I had a lovely former client. We had a good relationship, and she just wanted to unsubscribe because she was on my list with several email addresses, and she accidentally reported my email as a spam. And when I saw that, I just asked her, I asked her, hey, are we okay? I thought it's all fine between us. And she was like, whoa, what's happened? What's happening? And I was like, hey, you have reported my email as a spam. And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm very sorry. So when someone reports your email as a spam, I would say 50% this happens by accident. But please make sure you avoid spammy words, spammy looking, or any other stuff, and make sure your spam compliant rate is below 0.3%. When someone unsubscribed and complains you as a spam, please delete them and make sure this person no longer receives your emails. Let's talk about groups and segments in MailerLite. So it depends a bit on your email tool. For example, ActiveCampaign works with lists and tags and segments. MailerLite is a bit easier. We have groups and segments. Let me quickly explain what's the difference. A group is kind of static. For example, I'm running a evergreen workshop. I'm following along Evelyn Weiss' almost evergreen workshop strategy. And I have one group with all my subscribers who joined my free workshop. And then I have different segments to divide those subscribers into the month where I'm running my workshop. For example, I have a segment for workshop March, workshop April, workshop May. And so with this setup, I can see how many people joined in May and how many people joined in August, for example. I would like to show you this in real life. You go to subscribers and then to groups. And here you can see, for example, all my groups. And here you can see, this is the group Workshop Email Marketing Game Plan. So you can see 593 subscribers were people who joined my free workshop. Overall, those subscribers gave me an open rate from over 50% with a click rate from 3.58%. So as I said, I have all my workshop participants in there. But what I want to see is in which month I have how many new participants. And this is what we do with segments. You click on segment and let's create a new one. Create segment. We name it Workshop April Email. Create. Then you choose the filter. So the first filter is the group belongs to, And then we are searching for our email workshop. It's the workshop email marketing game plan. And then we need to add another condition, which is the sign up date. And now we need to think. It's kind of complicated, but once you have understand, it's easy. You need to think of when was your last workshop and when is your next workshop. So for example, my last workshop was on March 28, and my next workshop is tomorrow on April 9. So now when I want to have all my April workshop participants in there, I need to think, when was the last day? It was May 28. So the sign up date is after the last workshop day. It's May 28. And the sign up date is before the day after my last workshop day, the day after my next workshop, which is April 10. April 9 is my next workshop. The day after is April 10. So here, last workshop, next workshop, and the time frame in between are the people who are on my next workshop in April. Who? It sounds complicated, but once you have understand, it's easy. And then you can click on refresh. And then we can see we have 295 people joining my workshop tomorrow. And then you can click save changes and your segment is saved. What MailerLite, for example, not have is a solid function to really find inactive subscribers. But I would like to show you how you can identify inactive subscribers, and it's just a one manual step workflow. We go to segments. We create a new segment, inactive subscribers, 90 days. Click create, and then we choose a filter. We want all active subscribers. Then we choose a filter to the group and belongs to, and then I am selecting all contacts. Here are all my active subscribers. And then we need another condition, and this is time inactive. Time inactive has not opened or clicked any email in the last 90 days. And now we have a problem. It shows 600 subscribers, but that's not true. He's just saying in the past 90 days. So when someone just joined a minute ago and haven't opened your first email now, this person is in this segment. And here comes the manual step. You need to add a sign-up date. And I do this process once a week, and I say sign-up date is 3 months before today. So today is April 8. So 3 months before April 8 is March, February, January. So we needed to add another condition. Its sign-up date is before 3 months from today, April 8, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months is before January 8. Refresh. And what you can see here, we have 411 people are inactive based on 3 months before today. And what you can do now, you can just select them and add them to your re-engagement automation and make sure they were aware of the fact that they get unsubscribed. And this is how you work with segments and groups. What I love with segments is that they are relatively easy to use and more agile compared to groups. What I talk about is campaigns versus automations. So what is this? A campaign is a one-time send email. it's like a newsletter. So you sit down, you write your email, you schedule it, and you send it. And an automation is something that you do over and over again, and that's happen automatically. And it gets triggered by whatever you set up. Automations are 50% of your email marketing success. For example, if you have a free resource, a freebie, a free workshop, then you need an automation because you don't want to send the email to every new subscriber manually. So you set up an automation, and this automation sends automatically the first email and delivers your free resource to your new subscriber. And then you have maybe a welcome sequence or a nurture sequence where you send a few more emails either to convert or to nurture. And this is happening also automatically. And this is the evergreen magic of an automation. And let me quickly show you hands-on what this means. These are my campaigns. So this is my last newsletter. It's a personal storytelling email about a cover-up tattoo I got and what this has to do with growing out of your business. This was a newsletter and it was a one-time send newsletter. Click on Create Campaign. Choose Regular Campaign. Name it. Give a subject line, a pre-header. Choose who should receive this email. Click Next. Choose a template or start from scratch. I love to use my templates. Then you write your actual email, you add video or whatever. Then done. And then you can just send now or send later. If you want to create an automation, you go on Automation, New Automation, start from scratch, name it. And let's say we would want to have a automation for new workshop participants. So then I need to set up a trigger. A trigger is what makes the automation start. And to set up a trigger, we have different options. When a subscriber joins a group, when a subscriber completes a form, when someone clicks a link or a date is up or a field is updated, we select when someone joins a group and we select our email group marketing game plan workshop group. We hit save. Then next, what you do is you create the email and you can name the email, give a subject line, design the content, and then you have different things or next steps. So you can have a condition. So if this happens, then that, but we don't need this. In our case, we are done here. And once you have done this, you can start the automation right here. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe. And if you need more help with email marketing, join my free email marketing workshop. You will find a link in the description box below.